What's up, everyone? Welcome to a brand new episode of Quotables. Of course, I am joined, like always, my buddy Ernie. How's it going, Ernst?
I'm doing well, dude. And as always, I am joined by my co-host here, Lex. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm very good. Excited about today because maybe not for the movie in particular, but I'm excited at the fact that it's a new thing because we are, for the first time, reviewing a movie that just came out maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that movie is Marvel's Black Widow. If you haven't seen it, avoid this episode because we are talking spoilers. And if you're a Marvel fan, we think we are, you might not want to listen to. You might not want to listen to it.
You're like, oh yeah, just tune out right now.
So, yeah, this movie was supposed to come out way before, but of course the pandemic happened.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen Avengers Endgame, we know about her fate that happens. Spoiler: she died. But this movie takes place in between Civil War. Captain America Civil War and Avengers Infinity War. So many wars.
Mm-hmm.
Ernie, how do you like this movie?
So right off the bat, I want to go back to what you're saying. It is our first foray into newer movies, so I'm excited about this. This is a little different though for both of us because it's not a quotable movie. It's not like something, because we literally just saw it not too long ago, so there's not a lot of things that we can quote, but there is scenes we can definitely discuss and kind of quote on. So I guess it's going to be quoting without the words.
So we're going to change.
Scene.
So you're saying we're changing the episode to discussable?
Oh, I like that. There you go, dude. We just made a new episode.
Actually, there are some parts in this movie that that are quotable, per se, because some of the characters, are good.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Let's go ahead, sorry.
No, you're fine. So going back to what you're saying, dude. Dude, I really enjoyed this movie.
Mm-hmm.
We'll kind of get into it a little bit more as we move on forward, but. Dude, great movie, great cast they had, and yeah, dude, I'm glad they finally brought it out. Like, it had been in this limbo since I want to say maybe 2004. I think when they were doing it with Lionsgate that I was telling you, where I think David Hayter was gonna write and direct, and then they kind of just moved on, and finally Marvel got the rights back, and in 2006,
all that good stuff.
So
yeah, I remember hearing about this movie for a while.
So yeah, it's been in a freaking limbo, but yeah, man. If you want to get into it, dude,
we made it. The way I liked it. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. How did you like it? I should have asked.
I enjoyed it. It was good. It wasn't stellar. But it was good. It's I think it was about time Scarlett Johansson got her own movie. It was different. It was very different. And I don't know if you were able to tell, but it was very James Bond-esque, that thriller. Because especially the beginning, you know what I mean? It just kind of went that round. She's even quoting the movie when she's watching it at one point in her trailer. She's watching, I don't know which James Bond it is, but she quotes it herself. Maybe she's
that's right,
episode. And also, this is the first Marvel movie that has an opening credit. They usually don't do that. They just jump right into it. And to the song of "Smells Like Teen Spirit," it's a cover of Nirvana's song. And it's pretty eerie. It's goes into dark territory, I think, this movie a little bit.
I want to go off on that because I wasn't sure if we were going to, I guess we are going to dive into it now, but I do want to, I didn't want to say this, I wanted to say this probably later, but I'd rather say it now. I agree with you about the movie. It was a little eerie. It was way different. I felt, dude, honestly, if I didn't know better and I didn't know this was a Marvel movie, I wouldn't have guessed. This felt like its own thing. It felt like this character that sounds weird, was his own thing now. It didn't need, I'm glad that they didn't bring out any Avengers or anyone to
of course,
overcast her, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think going into it, Scarlett Johansson and Florence Pugh, Florence Pugh steals the scenes mostly in the movie, at least in my opinion.
Yeah,
right?
As Yelena. Yeah. I would say she's kind of like a Catwoman.
Yeah.
Acrobatic, fights really good. Obviously you see she was trained to be a killer, and it even talks about that, how much okay, and then we'll talk about another character that steals the show is David Harbour's Alexei, which is the Red Guardian.
Oh God, I love
him.
He's awesome.
He refers to Yelena. He's you're the best child. You're the best child that's killer or something like that. Not child killer. You're the youngest, best killer in the world. He acknowledges the fact that she was a kid killing people, and she was the best at it. So it's pretty intense. But yeah, let's talk about these characters. As far as Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, she still does, a good job at the and like it's a good final outing for her.
Yeah, I felt that I felt that Scarlett Johansson said, sorry if I may, I felt like Scarlett Johansson did such a great job in portraying this character in between the timeline that she had, because she's coming off the Civil War with Captain America, and you could tell she's tired and beat up. Like she's been on this run, and you can see that it's taking a toll on her.
From Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly, and like you don't you don't get that a lot. Like I don't think a lot of people watching the movie. I haven't heard in reviews that people have mentioned that, but like you can definitely tell that she's just like kind of like, oh god, I'm tired of this. Like you can see it when like
Civil War is intense.
Yeah, and then you can see when Taskmaster comes out finally and they fight. You see that.
Yeah, she's defeated.
She's kind of like defeated in a point. But yeah, let's get into the characters, dude.
No, let's talk since you brought him up.
Oh, go ahead.
Brought her up. I'm sorry, spoiler. Taskmaster.
Yes.
I don't know much about that history of that character, but I know from playing video games, Taskmaster is essentially a villain. They didn't explore it or really explain it as much in the movie, which I wish they would have a little bit, but he basically mimics his enemy's moves. And as you can see, he's very Captain America, like,
or she,
because he has that or she, I'm sorry, has that shield. But yeah, like she's supposed to mimic every single move and knows all the moves of like all the Avengers. And I think you had mentioned that they do a little Black Panther like.
Yeah, he does. Or she does. Well, it's weird. It's because we say he because originally it's a guy, and he's trained in a certain way that he mimics all the the Avengers. But yeah, he does like Black Panther, Captain America. I believe he does Hawkeye as well. Oh yeah, he does Hawkeye. And then there's one more I kind of forget. Yeah, but yeah, dude, honestly. Dope character. I like that. I didn't mind. See, a lot of people were like, I can't believe it was a girl. I don't mind that she was a girl. I don't care. Like she was awesome. Like, and I think they had like random little side fact. I think they had like 3 different stunt doubles to do those moves and all that because they were all different styles of fighting.
Oh
right?
yeah.
So it's like it's a different person every time you see the styles. But I want to get into this because and then this is hard because we're kind of going a little bit over the place. But I want to get into this because this is a big con for me. At least for this character, is that, dude, I really enjoyed the character. I like where she was headed and everything, but I disliked that she was underutilized. Like I felt like she should, that she or Taskmaster should have been a person that was always chasing them. Like it was always apparent that they were after them. So there was this feeling of unsettledness between the characters. Like, damn, this freaking crazy guy is coming after, or this crazy person's coming after us.
Yeah, but then the thing is, they kind of like. Pretty much like, I mean, there is a future for the character, but there's not really, you know what I mean? Because she was under, I forget his name, the mind control, and she gets freed at the end. So now that whole Taskmaster character is just kind of like gone. I mean, unless she still is able to use that suit to do it, but I don't think she's gonna go like a villain like how he was.
Dreykov is the guy that you're talking about.
Yeah, the dad, the guy who controls
played
all the
by
girls.
Ray Winston or Winstone. I'm not saying that right, but yeah. So. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, but I think they could probably make her a mercenary, and that's going to be her own thing. Because I think
I feel like we're not going to be really seeing much of that character for a long time.
Sucks,
or
bro.
if we are, it's going to be a reboot.
Well, it's going to be different because now, spoiler alert. Like, if you guys haven't seen like Twitter and all this craziness, like we know there's variants.
Oh,
so this could have been a variant of Taskmaster.
Yeah,
it could be a guy. There could be another girl. We don't know. You know what I mean? So there's like endless possibilities now at this point. But yeah, man.
No, yeah, so it was a cool character. I mean, like you said, underutilized. Let's talk about the main character. I mean, we already talked a little bit of ScarJo. Let's talk about Florence Pugh's, who I had a crush on since Midsommar. If you haven't seen that movie, great family.
He loves
flick.
when she
Check
cries.
it
Is
out.
what it is.
Watch it with your kids. Just kidding. No, don't watch that. I'm kidding. Don't watch that with your kids. She was great. I mean, I thought she was funny, and obviously they're setting up for her future because she's probably going to take over the Black Widow mantle, obviously as her own. But she was really funny in the movie. Like it was definitely the comic relief, but she was still like a serious character. Like what I mean. Like and like as you see them explore a little more, how she's still connected to that family as much as like she's in like she's mad. At everything, like in that dinner scene, remember Black Widow, Natasha's saying like, we're never real, but she was like, it was real to me. Like she gets, and she sold it. I'll say she sold those emotional scenes pretty well.
No, I agree with you.
And in the beginning, she had the mind control, but you see her get it
get taken
off,
away. Yeah,
like real quick, and then
that was
that's when it
pretty.
explores.
That was cool. I like how they did that because like when I was watching the movie, I was like, well, I wonder why she's doing this. And then you saw that, I was like, oh damn, she's being mind controlled. Kind of MK Ultra there. That's a conspiracy theory for you guys. You know, I don't know if you ever seen that. You look that up. It's funny. It's like well, it's not funny, but it's like a thing that the government kind of like use like to control people's minds or whatever. But dude, I thought she did a great job as well. Like I'm like I stated before, she stole the show. I think this movie was more about her than it was about Scarlett Johansson's character. It was like
she's just trying to get her transition into the MCU. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. I do want to state this, and this is a big spoiler. If you guys haven't watched Loki, I apologize.
I haven't watched Loki.
And then it's hard for me to tell you that, but I think that with the variants coming out, I think she might be part of a different Avengers.
Oh, really?
I think that's what's gonna. I think, but I won't get into it since you have not actually checked it out. I highly advise you check it out because it changes. It changes the next phase, and it's really great.
I got to check it out.
But yeah, so
Okido.
I would have liked to have seen her more with the family. I love that dynamic.
Yeah,
I know it's only in that like the third act or whatever that they kind of utilize them all together, and like that dynamic is like because you know she says it's not real, but you know like you stated she's like it was real to me.
Yeah, because the beginning's sad. You know they're little kids and they have like a nice little family and.
David Harbour's character comes into the room and talks to her.
Yeah.
And like you're like, oh my God, that is her father.
Yeah. I think they both need their own movie. The Red Guardian.
Yeah. Did you not see what Kevin Feige had said recently? He said that he wants to see
more Red Guardian, right?
Yeah, Red Guardian fight Captain America, but not Steve Rogers's, but
Sam Wilson.
Sam Wilson's, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be kind of cool, dude, because like in one scene
he talks about he talks about he fought
him in the 80s, but it's not real.
But the guy was like, because he's just delusional.
Yeah,
right?
he's a pathological liar where he like what he perceives that something's like, you know, he knows it's fake, but he says it's so like like in his mind when he's saying it, he thinks it's true.
And the guy's like, he was frozen. He's like, you calling me a liar?
Yeah. And then he freaking breaks his arm or whatever, right? It's kind of cool.
That's pretty nasty. That scene was sick. I like that prison escape scene. That was cool. That was a fun scene. Remember with the helicopter?
Oh yeah, that was so awesome, dude.
It was good. That was a good scene. It was good to see them all together. It was funny. Like obviously they hate him, but he's like he like still loves them. He's like, oh my god, it's my god.
Yeah, because I think he still has like.
And just let me talk about your fallopian tubes. That's just sweet, dude.
Yeah, dude. He's a sweet dude. I thought, you know, I had this really weird emotional roller coaster with the movie, with that character. Because because I really liked him in the beginning, like you're like, damn, he's a dad or whatever, and then you find out he wasn't, and then you kind of start disliking him, but then you start liking him again, and then he's always trying to have these conversations like deep with Natasha, and she's never there, I know. And he's like pouring his heart out, you know, and it's so awesome, dude, like to see that dynamic.
Even with the mom too, they do the same kind of thing with her. Like,
yeah,
he does it with her
bad,
then they make her bad again, and then they make her good, like because it wasn't really her. Let's talk to mom because I know you have a crush on her.
I do.
Rachel Weisz, is that how you say it? Weisz?
Yeah. Well, I say Rachel Weisz, but I might be wrong. Yeah, Weisz. So
you're always wrong.
But she's Melena, right? Or Melina?
Yeah. Melinda or Melina?
It's Melina. Melina or Melena?
Melena,
I forget.
Because it's Yelena. Just kidding.
Yeah, but so I used to have a crush on her from the Mummy.
Yeah. I used to have a crush on Brendan Fraser.
Oh, same. Dude, I miss Brendan Fraser. That's a little side note.
That's another time.
He's a good guy. I liked her character. I would have liked to have seen more of her. I felt like her you can see Natasha got her like way of her sensibilities, right? Because the mother tells her like, don't lose your heart, don't do this, and you can see that she doesn't. Mm-hmm. You know, even throughout all this,
and that foreshadows, you know, her sacrificing herself, right?
Exactly, yeah.
In Endgame. No, yeah, they did well with the characters. I think the movie, maybe the plot itself might not have been strong, but like the movie characters were all pretty solid. I think. I mean, again, with Marvel villains, they're usually not always like the most fleshed out, but Dreykov, he's pretty much a what is it called? Like a, you know, he's sex trafficking girls. That's kind of the vibe it gives, right? But it's not sex work; it's like assassin work. But that's how it's kind of, he kidnaps like children,
and
to make him into this
weapons.
Weapon.
Yeah,
that was the theme that I got from there. So he's a pretty dark character, even though he wasn't too much in it. But like he's got a really dark like thing.
I like where you're right. I agree with you with the story. I think it fell a little short at times. I would have liked to have seen more of the Red Room. I think that's what I was very more interested in
Mm-hmm.
when this movie was announced. Obviously, we didn't. After they said, "Oh, like it's
You know
gonna
what I
take
was hoping?
Civil War and Infinity War and all that." But
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
no,
You
go
know
ahead,
what I was
Russell.
hoping? I was hoping, you know, the scene where all the other Black Widows come in to fight Natasha. I was hoping Yelena would join in and fight with her. But instead, she
Oh,
throws
yeah.
the antidote and it saves it. Like, I was really hoping she would, like, that would have been so cool to see, like, both of them fighting together.
They're all trained very
Yeah,
similar to one
exactly,
another. So
exactly.
like,
So it'd be hard to, like,
oh, that would have been, yeah,
it'd
you're
be a
right. That would have
tough
been a
battle to
great scene,
fight.
dude.
Um,
I wanted to see more of Natasha fighting Taskmaster.
Yeah,
I
like
thought
you
that
said, he was
scene in the
underutilized,
underutilized. I thought that beginning scene
on the bridge.
was so cool, bro.
I remember just sitting, of course, you expect something to happen, and all of a sudden the big old
Dude,
explosion.
and then
you're
nothing
off,
happened. I'm like, oh, come on, dude. And it was really neat, dude. Like, I really, dude. I'm telling you, I think they should have used them or used her Taskmaster as like this, like always present danger throughout the movie. It would have changed the tonality a little bit, but it would have made it more like when you get that final scene of her being taken away from the mind control, it would have felt like
a bigger impact.
You know what I mean? At least from, in my opinion, we're not film like critics or film directors. We don't know, but that's how I would have been like, oh, that would have been a lot better, in my opinion.
Interesting take.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the other. What's her name? No, Black Widow's like little friend.
Oh,
I
dude,
forget his name.
I don't even know his. Dude, that guy was a side character, and it was such a weird like
dynamic a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
with them because
he was like on a kind of crush on her or not.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
Understand.
And a lot of people were saying like she should have kissed them or whatever. But I'm glad that they didn't. I'm glad they had that tension.
Yeah, I'm glad that.
But I'm
a
like,
thing either.
But I'm like, then what about like?
She likes Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, what about Mark Ruffalo, bro? Like I would have loved to explore more of that than this guy.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was either going to be Bruce Banner or Hawkeye Clint Barton coming. That would have been a little cameo in the movie.
I think they're in jail, or Clint Barton is in jail.
No, he was a rogue. Remember, or like he was like doing his own thing. He was Ronin, right? Ronin.
No, he's in Civil War. He went to jail.
Did he?
He's Ronin after the finger snap.
Oh, that's right. That's
so,
right. Oh, yes.
So when the finger snap, according to I believe Kevin Feige or someone had stated this, that was in the Black Widow production. Florence Pugh's character Yelena was also snapped, so she's not aware. That's why at the end of the movie, end credits, spoiler alert.
Yeah, when she sees the grave,
she wants to go kill Clint Barton because.
Now I don't really know much of the lady that comes in, but it's like Fontina, right? Fontaine something. She was in the Captain America show, right?
She was in. I
didn't watch that show either.
Yeah, you got to catch up on that one. She's just a random character in that movie or in that show.
Well, I know she's supposed to be a big villain, kind of like.
She's
thing.
like she's basically what it seems like is she's gathering her own
Nick Fury of like
the bad Avengers. Yeah, that's what I was. She's like gathering these recruits.
Yeah, and then like at the end, she says that Clint Barton was the responsibility for her death.
Yeah, but obviously we know that's not true.
Yeah, of course.
We saw the movie.
She doesn't know. She's like, what is this? Yeah, that's it. No, I'm just kidding. No, there's still more. I mean, there's.
I know. I want to talk about
go.
this one particular scene. See how you felt about it.
Yes. Obviously, because before we go off, we don't have notes because we weren't in the theater. Texting.
No, we were not able to. Yeah.
So this is purely off memory.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you actually mentioned that before I get into
if you have
it.
any suggestions, huh?
I want to get into that. You went to the movie theaters.
I did.
I saw it at home.
You streamed it.
I saw it. I could have taken notes. I didn't want to, and here's why. I wanted to get immersed. I wanted this to be. This was a Marvel movie. I wouldn't like really.
It's
like,
different with movies
excited.
we've seen before.
You know,
right?
yeah. So when I got into it, I was just like, I'm gonna watch this movie as I would when I'm home. When you know. So I watched it. Honestly, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the streaming. I'm actually gonna go watch it again on Friday. So in a couple of days, I'm gonna go watch it again. Yeah, I enjoyed it that much, and I want to see how it is in movie theaters. So I will get that impact again.
Yeah, I saw the Dolby.
Oh, nice. Okay. But I want to get into this one particular scene, or at least this one particular fact that happens. So Florence Pugh's character Yelena, I keep saying her name, but Yelena in the movie has a vest. At the end of the movie, she gives a vest to Scarlett Johansson. She uses that later.
You like it, the pockets.
Yeah, she uses that later on in Avengers Infinity War. You see her wearing all that. And then she also changes her hairstyle blonde, just like her
I wonder if she wears it because she's aware that her sister got snapped.
Most likely. They don't mention it, huh? They don't really say anything.
Because the movie makes it feel like they definitely had somewhat of a relationship after, right? I mean, they weren't just disappeared off the face of the earth. So they for sure were in contact, but obviously they didn't talk about it. in the Avengers and all.
Yeah,
that
because you
stuff.
could assume that Yelena is doing some sort of mercenary work because that's all she knows, right? Yeah. So I would assume she's doing other things, and her and Black or Natasha are still kind of communicating. But like that this is just us thinking that because they really don't say anything during the movie, right? So we don't know, but. So what did you think about that? Did you, how did you feel that it all like tied into those movies? Like
I thought it was cool. Yeah, the whole time I was thinking like, because that's immediately what I wanted to know is that when it took place, and it gives it away in the beginning, obviously, because they're looking for her about the whole Captain America, the Accords, and all that stuff that just came into effect. So I always think that's fun. I always like that. Like when I realized, because then you piece things together, right? I mean, like WandaVision. Like I really like how WandaVision, spoiler alert, how they got to a certain episode and they were talking about the snap. I just like how it ties in. Like I thought that's super fun and cool.
Yeah, so you would enjoy the Captain America show.
You know, like it's just, you know, obviously she had her little side adventure. This is what she was doing in the middle of it, but I thought it was cool.
If you like that side story, you would really enjoy Captain America's and the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, because like they go into that snap and stuff, and they show you what happens after the fact. After people actually not the snap initially, but what happens after everyone comes back. The after effects of
kind of like how Spider-Man did it.
Yeah, exactly. But they go a little bit more in depth, and you see like
the blip they call it. Right?
Yeah, they call it the blip. Thank you. And they go into the bad things about it, right?
Yeah.
And dude, it's so interesting. It's really cool, and I like that little story. Show wasn't as great as I would have liked it to be, and I think at the end it kind of grew on me a little bit more. But it's interesting. It's worth a watch. It's good Marvel production. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like even their worst stuff is their great stuff. You know what I mean?
True.
It's still good stuff. So
good work, Captain.
That one's a little bit more emotional. Like it dives deep into that. So
does it?
Yeah, just for like Winter Soldier, and you kind of see his
he has an interesting past.
Yeah, his interesting past, and just kind of see like his development as a character throughout the whole time of what things that are happening, right?
Bucky.
Yeah, Bucky. We've already kind of like talked a little bit about here and there. I want to talk about the good stuff. So what were the pros for you? Like things that just kind of like stood out for you that you're like we kind of already went, like, you know, story was kind of a con. The characters were obviously a pro to us.
Yeah, the characters were definitely a pro. You know, the tie-ins were, you know, a pro. The fights I think were pretty top notch.
Definitely, yeah. Agreed.
Red Guardian and Yelena stole the show for me. They're definitely the best parts of the movie. Just anything they had was freaking cool. Yeah, I mean, and just the fact being a Marvel movie and just coming back to it, I think it's just it was a different feeling, you know, coming back to a movie and being like, God, it's been so long. I think the last movie I saw was Tenet in theaters, and it was like really, it was still kind of full.
Really?
At that point.
Well, like the theater, you mean?
Yeah, when I went to see this movie, it was there was no one sitting next to us, and it was a Friday night.
Oh, really?
So,
what time around Friday night? That's
like
interesting.
6 something. Yeah, it was like dead 6:30ish. Right?
That's interesting.
It was very interesting. I liked it a lot. But
no, I love that, dude. At least you didn't get people like I was telling you when I went to go see Fast and Furious. I had this guy going in the background. He's like, yeah, he was like eating and going like, yeah, let me get some of those. See, that's the thing. Dude, I love the movie theaters. I love that experience. We always talk about that.
I know,
but I hate people, bro.
People
like,
around it, yeah.
Come on, bro.
I know, it just makes no sense, but that's why streaming is the top thing.
Well, for now it is, right? But we're getting away from that soon.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see, and I think a lot of people were like, because I think this movie, it did really well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of people were just like saying that, like, you know, streaming is going to ruin it, but it didn't. You know, people still went out.
Actually, box office sales, they got ruined because
a little bit, but not as bad.
The fact that it was such a big drop from like the first week, like the second week was really bad for them.
I think
they're just pissed because Disney made it available to buy at home. But I mean, that's their own thing, right? I mean, theater people are just, they're just, they need money. They need money too. They're people too.
I guess so. I don't know. I don't know.
I like the streaming, man. I mean, the $30 is just, that's a little steep. It's cool. You get to keep it.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
you're not really keeping it.
Yeah.
Because once you lose, if I'm not mistaken here, once you take the service off,
it's gone. Right?
It's gone. You don't have it anymore. You're not going to keep it like a Vudu or Movies Anywhere kind of thing where
you're pretty much locked in to keep your Disney Plus again.
Exactly. Which is smart. Yeah.
They are smart.
Very smart.
That.
I don't know. I don't like that. I would like them to do a thing where they're like $15 a month. You get the Loki episodes 2 days early or a week early, something crazy like that. You know what I mean? Like where it's incentivized to keep it more expensive.
Yeah.
But this $30 thing, like Mulan, was not worth the $30, at least in my opinion.
I never watched it.
We bought it to watch it here at the house, and we're like, it wasn't worth it. It was not good.
They didn't even sing the song, the "She'll Bring On to." No, which one's the man one?
I was singing it. I was like,
you just put the shot
I'll
on
make
yourself.
a man out of you.
No, I was talking about the one where all the guys are talking about their woman.
Oh yeah, and she needs to be on something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That was sweet. Next episode? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, dude. I mean, what was I mean, we've talked your pros and we talked a little bit of cons. What about that Nirvana cover? I want you to sing it for us. I'm kidding.
Oh wait,
it's a little intense, bro. I was like, oh, this is kind of dragging on a little bit, but like it was good. It set the tone for like an eerie like.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that whole beginning scene. A lot of movies that I've watched recently, the beginning has set the tone for everything.
Yeah,
like it's very interesting the way, like I think like Quiet Place too, very attention grabber, and I think you're right. It set that tone for like something different, and like I stated before, like I felt like this was its own movie. It wasn't. If it didn't have Marvel in front of it, it could have been its own thing, and I think people would have like enjoyed it. I know a lot of people were like,
yeah, it's just like an espionage, spy film, basically.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah, so but
what about? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, it's gonna be interesting to see where this heads now because, obviously Scarlett Johansson, we know her fate in Avengers Endgame,
so
and
she's pretty much done.
She's done, right? But like, do you see her coming back in any way? Because now the variants are a thing that I told you. This is not a spoiler. You see that. Variance is a thing, and the next phase is multiverses. So
yeah, of course. I mean, it's possible. I mean, she might have a cameo here and there, but I mean, from what I hear, she's just that's it. It's gonna probably focus more on Florence Pugh's character, Lena.
Because I know I was discussing this on other podcasts that I was having, but no, you're fine. But like Kevin Feige had just like stated that he didn't want to keep people on a contract anymore. So now so certain people are contracted for the movie and not for a whole 6 movie process. Right. And so I think this sets it up for them to be able to keep the actor
really
happy
dive into that multiverse and be like, oh, well, Scarlett Johansson couldn't be here for Black Widow this time, but we're going to go get Charlize Theron or whatever, to be the new Black Widow. Yeah, some shit. She's another kind.
She's another, and then she meets Clint Barton is like, oh, I was always here. You know what I mean? Like they can do a bunch of stuff. And now we're going to just be like, oh yeah, this works.
I think we're used to it now. I mean, and I think the movie that did that best was Spider-Man Into the Multiverse.
Oh, yeah, dude.
They did it the best and then really opened up that door, I think. Obviously, it wasn't live action, but we'll see all the new Spider-Man. And Doctor Strange, I think, is going to handle something like that. Yeah. So we're going to see more of that, which I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, I think, and also, also Ant-Man and Wasp, right? Quantumania, I believe it's called. Yeah. So I think that might be the first introduction to like the next villain.
Yeah, the next big villain.
So the next big villain might be Ant-Man and Wasp, because I think Doctor Strange is a little bit more down the line. But you do see Doctor Strange come out in Spider-Man No Way Home. That's like a Lego freaking spoiled it for everyone. Lego does
which
that.
They always do.
Which is it's like Hasbro and Lego have this thing where they're like, you know what, let's take things out.
Sell their toys, bro.
But I mean, it makes sense. I saw it. I was like, I want to buy it, dude. It looks neat. But yeah, dude. I mean, if there's any closing thoughts you had overall,
well, let me mention my I was going to mention the set pieces, the action pieces. I really liked the end part when they're flying through the sky and like fighting Taskmaster and Black Widow, Natasha. Remember that? And then like, I love that scene that she's saving Florence Pugh's character on the parachute and she jumps off of her to fight Taskmaster.
Oh, I thought that's right. That was pretty neat. Yeah,
it was super cool. I mean, I wish that lasted a little longer, but obviously it can't be falling from the sky forever. But that was super cool. I really liked that.
I want to get into a scene that I actually liked about Taskmaster. Going into that, I don't know what it was, But I enjoyed that they put him in this or her in this room watching videos on how to study people's fighting techniques. It was very The Clockwork Orange, kind of
yes,
thing, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
they just like analyzing these like fight, and it's like I think it's like Infinity War, and then I know people are gonna be like, well, how did they get this footage or whatever? Well, I mean, like most of the footage and everything was recorded by something like in the battles of everything.
Remember
like,
the whole like Civil War battle was in like on a recording too.
yeah, so you can see it, and then freaking Peter Parker has it, right?
I really like too in that movie the obviously how the Dreykov had the scent that wouldn't allow him to get hit by them. But I love the fact that Natasha breaks her nose. Like, you have to break the scent. And then she breaks her nose to fight him. That was pretty cool.
Oh my dude, I
like
didn't catch
a lot.
that. I thought she freaking hit her head.
No, she was busting her nose.
Really?
Remember, she snaps it back into place.
Oh my, I just thought she was hitting her head.
Nah.
And
she's like,
she messes up her nose. That's why she does that. Okay,
Nah.
that makes a lot more sense. I couldn't figure that out. I was like, I thought she just was like giving herself like some sort of brain,
Yeah.
like to snap out of it. But that's interesting. I'm glad you stated that. I didn't even notice
I also
that.
want to talk about the cameo
Of?
from the pig. Just kidding. Remember the little pig?
Yeah.
That part was sad. It was all trying to breathe.
Oh, that was sad,
So
dude.
she can hold her breath for about 45 seconds.
Oh
Sorry,
my
I can't
god,
do it.
I
That's
didn't
my
like
Russian
that. I didn't like
accent.
that one bit.
But yeah, I mean, I think before we end or whatever, I mean, if there's more you have to say, but I could have used that family dynamic more because I think that's when it really worked. I love that their whole character study was great. Then you had the trick where you thought the mom was like betraying them, but it was actually Black Widow, which was kind of weird because all of a sudden they had like a cloaking device that was kind of random, right?
It was I guess
I was just like,
this is like
was never introduced, I think, and I'm like, all of a sudden it's like
there's no continuity to it.
I was just
it
like,
just kind of happens.
It just happened for sake of the movie, like
which is cool, but
this
it's
works.
like they should have worked that in somehow.
But I mean, yeah, we get to find out that Melina was working with him, I guess, still, or like she still trusts him, right? Like, right? That was the thing. That's why they wanted to get to her because she knew where he was because he was still like they were still in contact.
Oh yeah, well, so she was
because remember he trusts her when she walks in, but it ends up being Natasha.
So she's like the head kind of
the Black Widow, like
of that Black Widow program of like the So she is. I don't think she like trusts him.
Did she
I think
develop
it's
the vaccine? Just kidding.
Because I don't know if she's like the one that trusts. From what I've gathered, I do not recall. We've only seen the movie once, but from what I recall, I don't remember her being very like. I don't remember her being very like trusting of that guy. She was just kind of doing her job because that's like that's her country. That's she's from there. Like she needs to follow it to a T. It doesn't matter how wrong she thinks he is. She has to do it according to his orders. You know what I mean?
Gotcha,
that's like a thing that like a lot of like people in like the Army, Marines or whatever, they follow instructions and then they don't challenge them.
That's true.
So that's kind of like where her mindset is probably at that time.
I get you.
But I don't like that she does that. I was like, no, she can't be evil. I
we're
love
like,
her.
Like, what? And then all of a sudden like,
I love
surprise,
her show.
motherfucker. I love her show.
But yeah.
What about I heard you really related to the part where he's trying to put on the Red Guardian trying to put on his suit.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's because that's how I fit on my.
feet.
It still fits his gut, dude.
I
I'm glad
they showed that
they showed his body like that.
Yeah,
like that.
Usually
because he's a super soldier. If you guys don't know that, he's a super soldier.
Yeah.
He was one of the first experiments for Russia Russia, right?
to dive into
to dive into that, and he was the only one.
He's Russia's answer to Captain America.
Exactly. And dude, that is so awesome. Like I love that they did that. Like
it's relatable.
Yeah.
And then especially Yelena, when she's talking shit about Natasha's moves. Like
I love that too. The pose, right?
She's like, why do you pose
Why do you
flip
pose
your
like
hair?
this?
Like
Yeah.
everybody's watching you. Like, and it's so true because every superhero they have their fucking,
Yeah, and then she
they
does
have
it
that
at one
stance.
point.
Yeah, she's
Not disgust.
and then she like and she shakes it off. She doesn't like it.
that's freaking sweet though.
I love that they do that, dude. I like that they
poke fun at it a
They
little
poke
bit.
fun at the Avengers because I know this is another thing that I saw on Twitter. A lot of people were like, "Well, why does Yelena know that Black Widow does that?" Well, because a lot of it was still recorded. Like
Exactly.
it's everywhere.
And
It's
they're
like,
always saying like, she's like, why don't you call your Avenger friends?
yeah, they like everyone knows who they are.
She's like, we're kind of fighting right now. She's like, what? Like all stupid. But yeah, dude, yeah, I mean, you know how people are, the Marvel fanboys. A lot of people would like kind of talk trash on this movie. But I mean, I just took it. It was fun. It was a good welcome back, and I've been waiting for this movie for a while. I looked at it, I was wanting to watch it, so I'm glad it came.
Definitely do. Yeah,
it
I
was a
agree,
fun. It
man.
was a good filler movie.
Yeah, I'm not sure why people disliked it so much. I know it has its flaws, and like
Yeah,
it doesn't add or it doesn't take away from the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No, not at all.
It's like I said before, it's its own thing. Like you don't have to watch it if you don't need.
It's like
need
a
to
guilty
really.
pleasure, like filler episode, like for the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
because
agreed,
it
yeah.
connects, but it does. Like you said, it's on its own, but it's not on its own.
The only thing that connects is like the ending.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That's
and the references,
the little references. But then again, like it's like Yelena's story a little bit. So yeah, it kind of does, but it's like you don't know like where it's gonna head. So we'll see right now. But
yeah, no, I get it, man, and so I mean, with the closing on this movie, we're probably gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna have to probably come up with a new rating because. We're not trying to classify it as a like it, love it, rewind it this time. I think we're gonna do enjoyed it, watch it in theaters again, get vaccinated and watch it in the theater because you say COVID, it's about COVID. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But,
I do, bro.
You wrote it down.
I wrote it down right here. What did I write? I wrote down. Go see it in theaters. Wait for it to stream. Not worth the time. That's kind of what I wrote. I know you had said get COVID, not get COVID or whatever.
Yeah, pay $30 to see it, pay $20 to go see it in the theater, or play matinee to go saw it, or pirate it. No, I'm kidding. No, don't do that. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of all over the place as far as our rating systems go. But if I was to rate this movie, I would say. If you're a Marvel fan, watch it. If you're not a Marvel fan, you can still watch it because mine would be enjoyed it.
Theater or stream it?
I would say theater, just because. But I'm a little, because the fact that we haven't been in a theater in so long, that's like, it's a good movie to go watch coming back to the theater. You know what I mean? Like, but I think Suicide Squad's probably gonna do better.
Yeah, that's a stream HBO. So I think honestly, I feel like Suicide Squad might be streamed more than it is in theaters.
Most likely.
Just because of the new mask mandate coming out and people are getting more scared of the Delta variant.
That's true.
Or the Delta, whatever. I'm not sure how it's called.
Delta Data Force.
Delta Force One, Air Force One. But like people are, so it might, like there's a lot of like variables to this. But for me personally, I say stream this movie. I enjoyed being home and like just like not doing anything, not having to deal with people freaking farting in the background.
Well, that's the thing I thought too, because I was hesitant on going to the movie theater because I've gotten comfortable with streaming. I think it's better. I can pause it if I can use the restroom. I want to get some food. You know what I mean? But the fact that when I got there, it was a Friday night and it was empty. I like that a lot.
You had a perfect feeling.
But like I don't miss the packed theaters. Like I don't miss that at all.
Yeah.
But I do. I'll tell you this.
Let
me tell you.
Tell me.
For certain movies, I think they're always theater worthy. This one maybe not so much, but like, imagine. I mean, it's watching Endgame at home, which would be nice because it's a long ass movie, but having the thrill of everyone just like cheering and laughing together.
I agree.
That's the part I like. And that's going to be any movie thing I think I talk about if we're going to do any more new movies from here on out. This one we didn't really get that because it's still. COVID. Nobody wants to scream because of the COVID. No, I'm kidding.
I know everybody's.
It was already the second week it was out, so I don't know. Maybe it was different.
The Japanese said for that roller coaster, "Scream inside your hearts." I don't know if you remember that when the mask mandate started coming back.
Oh yeah.
They're like they said like when you're going on the roller coaster, don't scream inside your hearts or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I don't know how people are gonna do that, but that's like
sweet.
So yeah.
But yeah, check it out. We enjoyed it. Do you have anything favorites from this movie?
Favorites? I mean,
I would say the characters.
The characters,
Red
probably.
Guardian and Yelena. One of my favorite parts of the movie.
Agreed.
And
also, I like Taskmaster a lot, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I really freaking dug it.
Could have been used more.
Yeah, definitely.
But still. But like you said, it doesn't really feel like a Black Widow's movie. But we're hoping to see more of Yelena in the future.
Yeah, definitely. So,
to
closing
wrap-
thoughts. Thank you guys again for tuning in. We do appreciate you taking a listen. This is a review discussion, so it's a little different than what we usually do. I feel like we keep saying that for
I
every
know,
episode.
every episode
but it's like
changes
because we change.
We're evolving.
We're
like a
evolving. Yeah.
Pokemon.
So, so I love this. I love being able to discuss. I know it's a little bit out all over the place.
It's
We'll try to
because,
be.
we
We'll
don't
try to
have
be a
much
little
notes.
better about
Yeah.
like kind of like having staggered notes and kind of like gauging
But we
that.
hope to cover more, the newer movies because maybe it can capture more
Bigger
people's
audience.
attention. But
Yeah.
the fact that movie theaters are still kind of opening slowly, it might not work out too well in our favor. But
Mhm. Oh,
let's give
they're
it a
still
shot.
streaming, so
Screw it.
they're still streaming
Exactly.
movies. So, what's funny is that I'm excited for you guys to see the pictures that we photoshopped.
Oh, jeez.
They're freaking awesome.
That's pretty
But
sick.
yeah, thank you guys again for tuning in. Anything else?
Yeah,
for you?
of course. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, Quotables Cast. You know where to find us. We'll see you guys next time.
All right, tune us out.
Bye.